Slacky about that. It only gives me like 30-minute intervals to record. But I was reading James chapter 5 and 1 about them storing up riches in the latter days. All right, and that this devil trusts in all his riches. All right, and like I was telling this guy, you know, even still, they you know, people can't get it, man. All right, they believe in all these other different doctrines. All right, they don't believe that the so-called white man is their enemy, man. All right, he the one who put you in oppression. He don't even believe in the slave trade. All right, that's how far the minds is, how far gone the minds is of our people, man. But back to them trusting in their riches, man. All right. All right, their riches won't save them in these latter days. This is Psalms 10 and 2. The wicked in his pride do persecute the poor. Let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined. And all right, they are. They're being taken in the devices that their sanctions are being put against them. All right, nations are being united against them. All right, and pretty soon, like I said, World War III is on the horizon. All right, and these people are all right. They're going to be they're going to be in dire straits, man. As they say, they're going to be up shit's creek. All right, and that's for anybody who don't have the Heavenly Father and His Son. And you look at what happened in Pakistan. 1,000 people died, man, just off some rain. All right, that's why it ain't gonna take but 1 hour to wreck this place. 1,000 people died. 45 million people are displaced just off of rain, man. All right, so imagine what fire gonna do. Imagine what fire is going to do to this place, man, and to these other nations, man. This is Psalm 68 and 20. He that is a power of salvation, and the Most High thy power belongeth the issues of death. But the Most High shall wound the head of his enemies, and the hairy scalp of such as one that goeth still in his trespasses. And this devil is going to the point where there's no turning back, man. He's not getting a hankling of a thought of even thinking about turning back. All right, he's incapable, man. He's a reprobate man. All right, and these nations are going to be gathered together and destroyed. This is Isaiah 40 and 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket, and are counted as a small dust of the balance. Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing. All right, he talking about the government control everything. It's the Most High that controls the hearts and minds of men, man. All right, and he's like I say, he mingled the perverse spirit in this place, and he put things in the minds of men, man, to destroy these nations. All right, to set them up to go against one another, and that's all in the scriptures, man. All right, how the Adawan dealt with our enemies, man. I mean, even with us, he'll send his spirit and put it in the minds of men to make them go into another place, man. All right, but guys like that, he ain't gonna know, man. All right, because they don't, the Lord ain't dealing with them, man. This is Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Adawan. As the rivers of water, he turneth it wheresoever he willeth. So he turns the minds and hearts of the kings of these nations, man. All right, he's the ruler of heaven and earth. All right, so if you want to put it in the minds of a particular king to go up against another king, hey, he can do that, man. All right, he's that powerful. All right, and that's what he's going to do to Babylon the Great. All right. This is Jeremiah 51 and 53. Though Babylon shall mount up to heaven, and though she shall fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come unto her, saith the Adawan. Yet from him shall spoilers come from her. All right? And it's beautiful when you do it. Most people call him the master chess player, and he is. Because ultimately, he's getting them all in one place. And he's going to wipe out, he's going to call them to him, and he's going to wipe them out. All right? He's going to wipe them out. Matter of fact, let's read on that. Let's read in reading that not too long ago, man. He's going to call these nations to him, and he's going to destroy them. This is 2nd Esdras 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, and it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen unto him. All right, and that's him coming back, man. All right, because every eye is going to see him. All right. Every eye on the earth is going to see him. He's going to come back to the clouds, pursuant to Acts chapter 1 and 9. The same way he left is the same way he's going to come back. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. All that heard his voice, man. All right. He's going to give commands, all right, to his angels to pretty much destroy certain places. Now he can come down here. He's going to be here, and he can pretty much destroy things. With his own might and power, but he has beings that's subservient to him, man, which is the holy angels. All right? And we're servants of him. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of the number from the four winds of heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. But I beheld, and lo, he graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen a region or place whereof the hill was graven, I could not. So the chariot that he's coming back on is going to be pretty much humongous, man. All right, you're not going to be unmeasured. It's going to pretty much cover. It's going to block out the sun. All right, it's going to be immeasurable. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. And lo, he saw the violence of the multitude that came. He neither lifted up hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only as I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire. Out of his lips came flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And them chariots is on 1,000 times on another level than the technology that they got here. And I was just watching something the other day where they're putting lasers on these on some of these destroyers. All right, but even still, man, all right, you can't hit something that fast, man. All right, how you want to deal with something or anything that can pretty much control time and space, let alone the hearts and minds of men, man. All right, because he could put a spirit, the Heavenly Father and the Adawan could put a heavy spirit, and he is going to put a heavy spirit of fear. All right, because this devil, that's his confidence, that's his blessing, his sword, his military might. All right, but when they see this, man, they're going to be afraid. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight. And he burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and the smell of smoke. And when I saw, I was afraid. All right, and that's the vision that he saw, that pretty much in 1 hour, all of that is going to be wiped out. So you can't even put a measuring stick on a type of technology that that is, which he was trying to explain. All right. All right, because these nations are nothing, man. All right, and we're going to be in the kingdom after that, man. All right, there's going to be rejoicing, and we're going to be no longer going to be in the in captivity under these devils, man. All right. We're going to be at true peace, man. We're going to be in true health. All right. Scriptures speak about that. This is Isaiah 61:1. The spirit of the Adawan, thy power is upon me, because the Adawan have anointed me to preach the good tidings unto the meek. He sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prisons to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Adawan and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. All right, so that's comforting, man. Knowing that the Lord is going to, the Adawan is going to take down our enemies, man, and rescue us. That's a comfort, man, in this place. And if you don't, and that's what I was telling him, if you don't have that kind of comfort, man, then your mind is in hell. All right, what else are you going to think about and meditate on? Especially when you go through certain trials and tribulations. All right, when you got to deal with certain things in this life. Like he said, the woman had her leg, she probably medicating off of food, man. Probably got diabetes and stuff like that. Hey, but when you hear a good word, it says a good word make up the heart glad, man. And that's what we want to see. If those who are in this truth, you want to see the fall of your enemies, man. To appoint to them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, and the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness in the planting of the Adawan, that he might be glorified. And that's how he's going to glorify. He's going to be glorified by taking down all these nations. All right? They're going to know him like we know him, pursuant to, I think that's Sirach 39. All right? Make them to know. Slack at 36. All right? Put fear upon all these nations that seek not after thee. All right? So they're going to get a hard spanking. Then that they're going to be reduced. The rest are going to go into slavery, and they're going to be ruled over with a rod of iron. All right. So I pray that this lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. All right. So I would like to give all honor, praise, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakak Wadash. All right, death to America, and we ain't got much longer. All right, Shalom.